What would you do if your husband demanded you ignore excruciating pain just to cater to his demanding best friend? In today's story, the protagonist's choice is a masterclass in prioritizing self-preservation. I was dealing with a toothache so horrible that no amount of medication could touch the pain. It was the kind of bad that demanded a dentist. Immediately, I managed to schedule an emergency appointment for the next day. The problem was, my husband Mark's best friend, Kevin, was staying with us. He'd injured his knee in an accident a few weeks prior, and since he lived alone, Mark insisted he stay with us so he could be looked after. While I initially welcomed him, I quickly became his full-time, unpaid nurse. I was cleaning up after him, bringing him his medication, and cooking all his meals. The worst part was his attitude. If I took too long to get him something, he'd call Mark at work to tell on me, which always ended with Mark getting angry at me. Mark's logic was that since he was working and I was home 24/7, it was my job to care for his friend. It had gotten so overwhelming that I couldn't even leave the house if Mark wasn't there with Kevin. The night before my appointment, I told Mark about it, and he pitched a fit, insisting that I couldn't leave Kevin home alone. I suggested he take a day off to stay with his friend, but he claimed it was too short notice. He told me to reschedule. I refused, even pulling back my cheek to show him how swollen my face was. Still, he just told me to hold on for one more day. This moment revealed Mark's greatest flaw, his complete inability to see my pain as valid when it conflicted with his own desires, a short-sightedness that would ultimately seal their fate. The next morning, after Mark left for work, I decided I was going no matter what. My mom had come to pick me up and was waiting at the door. As I was heading out, Kevin, who was camped out on a large mattress in our living room, saw me. He demanded to know where I was going. When I said I had a dental appointment, his voice turned sharp and condescending. He actually raised his voice and ordered me to go back upstairs and cancel it. As one commenter on the original story put it, reading that induced some serious second-hand rage. Who on earth did this man think he was? Before I could even react, my mom stepped in and started arguing with him, asking who he thought he was to speak to me that way. Kevin just doubled down, complaining about how he was unable to move and then threatening to call my husband if I stepped one foot out the door. I'd had enough. I took my mom and walked out. True to his word, he called Mark, who then proceeded to call me over and over for 2 solid hours until I finally just turned my phone off. After the appointment, still in tremendous pain, the last thing I wanted was another fight, so I went to stay with my mom instead of going home. Mark eventually got through and unleashed on me, calling me stubborn for going against his wishes and irresponsible for leaving his injured friend home alone. My mom got on the phone and told him off, which only escalated the argument. Now, Mark has taken time off work to stay home with Kevin. He's constantly messaging me, pressuring me to stop hiding behind my mom and come home to deal with the results of my actions. As another person wisely noted, these aren't the words of a husband, they are the words of a slave driver. This story is a powerful reminder that in any partnership, your health and well-being must come first. Deliberately ignoring a partner's pain isn't just a red flag, it's a fundamental failure of care. At what point does loyalty to a friend become a betrayal of one's spouse?